Welcome everyone back to another video on the channel. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today I will be talking about why St Kilda will be worse than people expect in 2023. You guys probably remember I did a video a while back talking about why St Kilda will be better in 2023, but now I'll be devil's advocate and argue against the Saints and give reasons for why we won't be as good. So let's just get straight into it. Number 1, injuries. We all know that players don't always return to their best form after serious injuries, and while there is much hype around all of our returning players, we must be aware of the fact that they could just not return the same. Ben Patton returned from a broken leg injury this year and took months to get back to his career best form. Hunter Clark also made his returns from injuries last year, but due to the interrupted nature of his preparations, he was unable to run out games after positive starts to them. As Caulfield, Clark, D-Mac, Jones, Hayes and King are all meant to return from injury niggles, it is highly likely that any of them could be relatively disappointing upon return and could be overtaken by depth players. Furthermore, the structural problems that have emerged as a result of injuries to Max King, Jack Hayes and Matthew Allison could be unrecoverable, despite the signing of Anthony Caminiti and potential of Cooper Sharman. Neither are big bodies and could be monstered by AFL key defenders in 1v1 situations. In typical Saints fashion, don't be surprised if there are further major injuries to the squad, both before and during the season. Number 2, failing game style. This one seems less likely, but it also seemed less likely that our game plan would fall apart in the second half of 2022, sending us out of the top 8. High pressure, fast and counter-attacking. This requires a good level of skill and elite aerobic capacity. If either of these elements are not up to scratch, the game plan falls apart. It will be easier for opposition to counter-attack as our defense is left open, which is why this has been a focus for Corey Enright and the rest of the coaching staff this pre-season. Track watchers have stated that skills are still a bit scratchy, so this must be worked on before the season starts. Furthermore, positional changes could also fail, with Nazaya and Brad Hill both moving positions this pre-season, among others. Number 3, overwhelmed youngsters. Experience is a crucial part of AFL performance, so if we are to strive for on-field performance over youth development, we must be careful of the amount of youth within the lineups. We have some very promising youngsters who Ross will be desperately wanting to play, and this is made even more tough due to their standout pre-season performances. Nazaya has had a role change to halfback and is impressing with his skills. Winteger had a stunning start to pre-season. Owens has impressed as a permanent forward/second ruck, while Filippo has played with a maturity beyond his years. Ryan Burns, Jack Bytel and Tony Caminiti have also been impressive. The injuries to our key forward stocks will force us to play one of Sharman, Caminiti or Heath, so whichever one that replaces King could be under a lot of pressure to perform and could be set up for failure, especially if our ball use issues going forward aren't fixed. Playing too many of these youngsters could be detrimental to the entire team due to the lack of experience and leadership, especially after the departures of Paddy Ryder, Jaron Geary, Dan Hanbury and Dean Kent. Number 4, improvement in other teams. If Ross Lyon is unable to help the Saints improve as a collective, we could be set to fall down the ladder as several other teams below us are set to be on the up. Gold Coast's natural improvement and return of Ben King, among several other players. Adelaide's natural improvement and potentially elite forward line with the inclusion of Isaac Rankin, improvement Josh Rochelle and Darcy Fogarty, Taylor Walker and Ned McHenry. Essendon's new game style under new coach Brad Scott and Port Adelaide's experience are all arguments that can be made for these developing teams to overtake the Saints in 2023. Furthermore, teams above us are expected to retain their statuses as final contenders, with Geelong, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Richmond cementing themselves as finals regulars in recent years, and Fremantle, Carlton, Collingwood, Western Bulldogs being finals contenders of late. Although it is likely that at least one is set to fall, it will still be tough for the Saints to try and make it into the top 8 even if we are to improve. Number 5, lack of leadership or experience. As I mentioned earlier, a young team could be void of leadership and experience. Paddy Ryder, Jaron Geary, Dan Hanbury and Dean Kent retiring leaves the side with just Hill as the sole 200 gamer at the club. In a team that could have youngsters littered all over the ground in 2023, this could be a significant detriment to the Saints team. Captain Jack Steele is still quite a quiet leader, so who steps up? Dougal Howard, Callum Wilkie, Seb Ross, Tim Membry and Brad Hill are the only vocal leaders on the list right now. So can the likes of Jade Gresham, Rowan Marshall, Jack Sinclair, Brad Crouch, Jimmy Webster, Jack Billings, Dan McKenzie and Josh Battle elevate their vocal leadership levels rather than just leading by performance? Thank you for watching this video about why the Saints could be worse than people expect in 2023. Obviously this is not certainly going to happen, but these are reasons for why we shouldn't get overly excited about the season ahead. But obviously as fans we should be optimistic about the future and put these thoughts a bit further back into our heads. Many questions surround the Saints 2023 following an off-season of change, both on-field and off-field, so it is crucial that they focus and set themselves for a successful expectation-defying 2023 campaign. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, comment your thoughts on how the Saints will perform in 2023, and subscribe to the channel for future content. See you guys in the next video.